Wayne Williams. We're here in Sedona, Arizona. We are at the Equus Film Festival. It's a tour stop for the Equus Film Festival right here in Sedona. We're going to take you around Sedona, Arizona and show you some sights around Sedona. We're also going to have you view a lot of the things that happened here at the Equus Film Festival. Join us right here on Speaking of Horses. The very beautiful area of Sedona, Arizona is located just about 30 miles to the southwest of Flagstaff. And as you can see here, some of the most gorgeous rock formations going up through the Oak Creek area, the Red Rock Canyon, and it's just gorgeous. The town lays right around through all of this scenery. Home of the Equus Film Festival Sedona Stop.
I said, you know, it might be your stirrups, but I don't know. She says they're too short and too long.
Family, and we only want the best for them. No standing water means clean, good tasting, algae-free, mosquito-free, and virus-free water. No risk of electric shock, no risk of fire from faulty wiring. Cool water in the summer, warm water in the winter. Water delivered fresh from the water supply at 50 degrees year-round. Drinking post water.
Welcome to the world of orange slow feeder, the longest lasting, highest quality slow feed net in the world. We currently have 12 different sizes, and we have anywhere from a small trailer net clear up to a 6x6 round bale or a 4x8 square bale net. And you can contact us at orangeslowfeeder.com. We also have a Facebook page, and we're at Pinterest, and we'll be on Twitter soon.
Hi, I'm Carly Cade, and I love horse books, so I decided to write a horse book of my own. And I'm here at the Equus Film Festival Sedona tour stop. I'm a local author, and I'm here supporting the tour and the films. And I have along with me In the Reins, which is an Equus Film Festival Best Literary Western Award winner from 2016. And now I'm excited to announce its sequel, Cowboy Away, which is a 2018 Equus Film Festival Literary Award nominee. So we'll see what happens this year in New York City.
So what inspired you to write the first book, In the Reins? There had to be something that you just didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm going to write this book. What inspired that?
So I was inspired to write In the Reins because I've always thought of myself as an author, but more like a poet. So I always carried a journal around with me. And then one day, like lightning, Cowboy McKenna and Kelly comes to me in the form of a poem, which actually ended up being the introduction to In the Reins. And then from there, the story just kind of begged to be told. Like, I never set out to write a novel. I've always been a consumer of horse books. I love horse books. I read them all. But what I found was that there's a lot of jumping, there's a lot of dressage, there's a lot of Olympic books, there's a lot of rodeo, barrel racing, that sort of thing. But there isn't a lot of books about my discipline, which is Western pleasure and showing on the breed circuit. Like, in the Reins, Quarter Horse Congress makes an appearance, and I talk about showing peat horses, which is what I love to do. So basically, I wrote the book I wanted to read. And from there, the story wouldn't leave me alone. I was like, stop bothering me, don't pester me. But it just kept showing up in my dreams while I was sleeping. So after that lightning bolt McKenna and Kelly moment came, I wrote the end of the book in a furious, I still handwrite, in a furious handwriting session. I wrote the entire end of the book. And then sitting there going, I have an intro and I have the end. What am I going to do? So I just sat down and I started plugging away, and it became In the Reins. And it's been magical ever since. The horse community has been so supportive of this book.
So you've used your love of horses to inspire the romance novel. Tell us a little bit about your background in horses, because that'll tell us a lot about how the book was inspired.
Of course. So horses have always been a very important part of my life. I have been a horse lover since I was this big. I was lucky enough to receive a horse for my 10th birthday. I was one of those girls that actually grew up owning a horse. And I showed 4-H, and she was a Palomino quarter horse, so I had experience on the horse breeding circuits. And then, much like my lead character, Devin Brooke, in The Reins, I sold my childhood horse to follow a dream of living in New York City and working in the music industry, which was very exciting. I was an artist development representative for one of the biggest music companies in the world, but something was always missing. and it was horses. I had a hard time walking past the horses for hire in the park. I went to see movies, and the Pegasus, the TriStar Pegasus would jump out, and I would feel a tear in my eye. I'd write in my journals all the time, I will have a horse again. So luck would have it, promotion took me back to my home state of Michigan, and there I found my current horse, my dream horse, Sissy. And her training and my trials and tribulations with her really inspired a lot of the content for In the Reins. So I've been a horse owner pretty much all my life.
Now, tell us a little bit, your second book, would you hold it up, please, there?
Of course.
Cowboy Away. Now, does it, and maybe I missed this in the first part of the interview, but does it in any way follow through on the other book, or is it totally a different story?
Absolutely. So this is a series. It's an equestrian romance series. Book one is In the Reins, which follows, it's a sort of mystery, romance, suspense. Enter handsome cowboy as a woman rediscovers her country roots and horse ownership again. And so it kind of tells the tale of how these two have chemistry and how he becomes her horse trainer, and you meet a great bunch of people on the farm. There's a bull rider named J.D. McCall, so you get two cowboys to choose from in this book. There's the horse trainer, there's the bull rider, and there's the farm owner, Sophia Matilda Washington Clark, who kind of takes all of these beautiful people under her wing. And so you meet them all in the first book. Now in the second book, Cowboy Away, it continues exactly where In the Reins left off, and you follow kind of the tumultuous past of McKinnon Kelly, the cowboy, the lead cowboy. So you kind of go back to the beginning and you learn about what brought him to Greenbrier Farm, what makes him tick, why he is kind of elusive and mysterious the way he is. So you get to know a lot about McKinnon Kelly. It kind of shifts and is told from the voice of McKinnon in the sequel. And it's good timing to check out the series because I am just about finished with the third book, which will complete McKinnon Kelly and Devin's story.
So now, when is this third book coming out? Is that a secret, or can we impose upon you?
Well, I actually have been sitting out at my table working on it right now. I just passed the 70,000 word mark. In the Reins is 80,000 words. So I anticipate I will have it to my editor within the next couple of weeks, and I'm hoping for a release date in 2018.
In other words, you might be trying for Manhattan.
I will, actually in 2019, right? So Cowboy Away.
Well, whatever, yeah.
Cowboy Away will be there in 2018, and maybe in 2019
Great.
I'll have a third book.
Great,
Yeah.
great,
Any
great,
chance
great.
you're coming to Way again in September to promote and do things there?
I don't know, Wig. I would love to know more.
World Equestrian Games.
Oh, in
Tryon, North
in-
Carolina. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, that's what's been so amazing about this journey with these books is all these incredible opportunities that have opened up, and the equestrians that I'm meeting and the events that I'm able to support, like the Equus Film Festival and the Sedona Tour Stop. And I just keep learning more. Like, that's the amazing thing about horses and horse ownership is you're constantly learning and evolving and finding new people to meet and new events to explore and go to, new disciplines to understand. I think that's why the Equus Film Festival is so amazing. These documentaries are like completely eye-opening. There are things going on in the horse world that we don't all know about. So this is like fabulous.
They're everywhere, and you have to keep turning over rocks to find them because they are there.
Yeah.
Carly, how do people contact you?
You can visit my website at www.carlykadecreative.com, and my books are found anywhere where fine books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's available in paperback, ebook, and audiobook. So there you go.
And you're here all weekend, right?
I am here.
You're
all
here in
weekend.
Sedona, Arizona, enjoying life.
I am here in Sedona, Arizona, supporting horse films, horse lovers, horse literature, and meeting really great people.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The rural American lifestyle. It's how we work, and it's how we play. It's how we learn and how we enjoy the finer things in life. How we take care of our animals and tend to the land. It's a way of life. Has been for hundreds of years. Now there's a whole new way for rural America to watch TV.
King Barns, located in New Holland, Pennsylvania. If you want a great custom-built barn, you got to contact kingbarns.com. All kinds of customized barns, top-grade materials, and wonderful custom design to meet your request. Please check out King Barns today. Source Nutrition. One of the fine sponsors, Source Nutrition, micronutrients developed from the seaweed harvested off the coast of Maine, aids in digestion, helps with older horses, keeps everything moving fine in your horse's digestive tract. Check out Source Nutrition.
It's fun. I went on several pack trips and I went on just like I just loved it. But then
Well, my name is Randy Helm, and I am the supervisor for the Wild Horse and Burro Inmate Program for the state prison here in Arizona. And the state prison, we have exclusively Bureau of Land Management, wild horses, and burros. So what we do is we bring the wild horse and burros in, we care for them medically, whatever the issues that the horse or burro needs, and we have inmates then that are trained to care for the animals. So the inmates they have to apply for the job, they get hired, and some of them will work on the care side.
now something very unique to Culver, the 4-gun drill team.
And so we have mounted shooting things, and we get our colts used to that because sometimes the live music is just a little more than they can stand. The piped in music is not too bad, but you get the band up there and they're beating on the drums and playing the trumpets and all this kind of stuff. Some of those horses, it just hurts their ears. And so when those ears are going, it's just about telling you, this is so loud, it's hurting my ears. And you go to some of those arenas that's kind of got that dome effect where that sound comes down on that floor, loud, oh my goodness. And the horse's hearing is a lot more sensitive than people's hearing. So, you know, getting them used to that, getting them, you know, with the vapor rub. I'm just saying it's just a business, and when you look at it like that, then I want to show up here and be the very best that I can be. It can be a jackpot, it can be whatever, but the other night we went to just sort of like Monday night jackpot. And we have a dash to fame, a jail dash to heaven mare. And so we've had a little trouble getting her consistent, so we've not really stepped out there to very much big stuff. We went to the maturities, and she probably won maybe $15,000 in it all, which is not a lot of money considering the money that's there. So we haven't really stepped out too much with her. We're just trying to be able to make that same run every trip idea. And so we're concentrating on some of the cheaper stuff to get that done. And so we show up at this Monday night thing, and there was an NFR horse there, ridden by the girl that went to the NFR on him. And so sometimes in Texas, those girls will show up on occasion, and we get a real true look at where we're at time-wise. And sometimes if you think you're about ready to step out, that's what needs to happen. Just tell yourself, I'm going here, there's going to be some really tough competition here, I'm going to see where I'm at. I'm going to find out time-wise, what do I need to do time-wise.
These are all activities during the military and riding exhibitions. You're looking at some of the wonderful presentations featuring the Culver Honor Guard, the 4-gun drill team, the Lancer Band, and the Lancer Platoon Divisions. And you're watching this, the CGA drill team, a wonderful group of girls. Hey, speaking of horses, we're at Culver. We're getting a great tour of Culver. Mark Waller is my guest. He is the Director of Horsemanship Instruction. And Mark, welcome. Tell us about your involvement in Culver.
Well, what happened was I was a mounted police officer in London for 30 years, and I met a lovely American lady, and we became husband and wife. And when I retired in 2006, I came to the United States, and we set up home in Indiana. We've got a little farm here, a little organic farm, and she used to compete against the Culver organisation, you know, their jumping team, etc., back in the 80s, and she said, why don't I send my resume to see if they needed any, anyone to work with their drill teams or with the Black Horse Troop, and I did that, and then Mr.